Tropic Greens. I'm your host, Philip Amrine, sitting alongside my beer guzzling, would it be fair to say? Well,
yes, this is my second one of today.
Yeah, I was going to say, guzzling might seem like you have a problem.
Yeah.
But this is, no.
Not sipping, just drinking.
Right.
I don't guzzle, I don't sip, I just drink it.
Okay, so my beer sipping bud voucher.
BSBB.
Yeah. Bringing
Wow.
shows back, baby. All right. Speaking of bringing shows back,
yes,
we had to watch. We weren't forced.
We chose. This was voluntary. I stuck my neck out for this movie.
You did. This wasn't your Planet of the Apes, which was mine. I think Detroit's going to be your Planet of the Apes. Is for next week, a little preview for everybody else.
Yes.
Which we'll be watching next week. But that's kind of been the one that you've been kind of sliding under the door with the cat paw, just trying to get me to watch it. I'm like, okay.
We should probably go see this in 14 weeks. And you know what? Since this trailer premiered, one of the dopest trailers that I've seen for a long time.
Dopest. What other
it was
podcast
a
can
dope
you get
trailer, right? Go on YouTube and Google Atomic Blonde trailer. You will have so much fun watching it. And that's really all you need to do. Honestly, let's get into this, man.
Let's get into this. Okay, so I'm going to, as we normally do, go do a rundown of the full cast and crew as far as who's the heavy hitters here. Directed by David Leitch. And of course, we got Charlize Theron playing the title role of Lorraine Broughton. James McAvoy, David Percival. Eddie Marsan playing Spyglass. John Goodman, Emmett Kursfeld. Toby Jones is Eric Gray, and I think James Faulkner is Chief C.
Yep.
Finally, Sophia Boutella is Delphine LaSalle. And this is not the first time that we've seen her in this summer.
No, you know what? I honestly, I had like a total PTSD flashback as soon as she walked on the screen. I was like, oh, no, the mummy, so bad. It's such a terrible movie. Why is she here? No!
It was not that bad.
Don't see the mummy. Please don't see the mummy, guys. Please.
Anyway, so we got into the entire cast and crew.
Yep.
So it's an interesting point that you bring up as far as the trailer, because it's a very action-packed trailer.
It's all like it's like synchronized to music. It's really stylish. It gives you all these cool little tidbits of like awesome action thrill ride it's gonna be.
And right there is my biggest discrepancy of the film. Mm-hmm. I wish that I could somehow go and get my point across to the people who need it to be pointed across to in the commercial firms or advertising firms for commercials specifically, because there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. There's advertising and there's fake advertising for good and bad. Now, you can fake advertise to be good, and it's a good thing where you get people to go see it for reasons other than what they expect and then... or don't expect, and then they get in there and they're pleasantly surprised, right?
Yep.
In my mind, the thing that pops off the top of my head is Magic Mike, right? I thought for some reason this
is a dumb stripper movie.
Yes.
And then you sit down and you're taken through this like melodrama. You're like, whoa!
Rihanna's We Found Love in a Hopeless Place. That lone song almost got... Just the way that they paced the entire trailer to Magic Mike, to that one song, almost made me go see that film. But I know it was much better received.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah. And so therefore, even though it's not stereotyped, you're fake advertising to make it seem as more depth than it probably was, but you're somewhere in the middle, so you're pleasantly surprised. In this specific instance of Atomic Blonde, I feel that I, as a viewer, was sold a bill of goods that this was going to be an action-packed film, and what the nuance would be, what the niche would be, is that instead of the usual male-led superhero, Liam Neeson, I will find you.
Yeah, Jason Bourne type. Yeah.
Instead of the male Bourne,
it was going to be that, but it was going to be a girl, Charlize Theron. Yeah, we could totally get behind that. I love that.
But what I ended up seeing was the penultimate definition of a slow burn action film.
Yeah,
it was
not like a good like dark melodramatic slow burn, just like a pointless slogging along, throwing in plot points that don't even need to be there.
It reminded me of a traditional 70s-esque crime thriller.
Well, you know what?
It was a true spy espionage film, like Alfred Hitchcock.
But those are actually good. And everything
way to be blunt about it, but
everything that goes into those movies makes sense. A lot of the stuff, you can have a smart spy movie where the audience has to figure it out along with the characters, and a lot of the stuff in there it all makes sense. But this is just putting stuff in there for the sake of putting it in there because there's nothing else they can do. The script, I can't even begin to describe how poorly written I felt it was. The dialogue and the plot, I thought it was just totally convoluted, not the good kind.
Misdirections for misdirection's sake.
Exactly. And it's just to throw us off our guard and to try to add more spice into the plot where it doesn't need it. Those Jason Bourne movies work because it's confusing and mysterious, but it makes sense. We get an understanding of what Jason is working towards. This whole entire thing, it's like it changes from scene to scene. Each scene feels totally disconnected from the last. It does not work.
So the movie itself, for those going to go see it, just to give them a laydown of what they're going to go see. So it starts off, and it's in 1989. So we're talking late 80s.
Yep.
And
Berlin Wall's about to come down.
Berlin Wall's about to come down. That's where the story is centered around. It's centered around a fictional story within true events of the Berlin Wall coming down, and theoretically, kind of what helped merge the Berlin Wall going down? No.
Yeah, well,
it really wasn't.
Even though the Berlin Wall is still going down, you have the Allies and the Soviets still vying for power, and
it's in the midst of the Cold War.
Yeah, this Cold War is still going on, and somebody's
which is the high mating ground for all spy films. If you're going to do a spy film,
it's a Cold War spy film because it's about the Russians going against the British and the Americans. And let me tell you, this film is a poor film. It is not one of the good ones. We can throw it in the trash. But it follows a list that the Russians have.
It has a MacGuffin.
Yes, a MacGuffin. Yes, that's what we call it. You can explain.
Thank you.
Because I'm going slower than the movie right now.
Yeah, yes, you are. But anyways, it has a MacGuffin, which centers around a watch. And now for those, some who don't know, a MacGuffin is an item that drives the plot along in a spy film, or really any film.
But Hitchcock made them popular.
Yeah,
all of his movies had a MacGuffin.
Where all the characters, it's the driving force of the film, but not necessarily important unto itself.
Yep.
So there's a watch that's the MacGuffin of this film, and what it contains is
a list with the names of a bunch of international double agents, and
for the Allies.
Whoever gets it will either protect their double agents, or if the Soviets get it, then they will discover who among them is betraying them, and it will give them power, and it'll reverse their fortunes in the Cold War. Trust me, the movie does not explain that very well.
No, it does not.
You will not get that just from reading that.
It leaves you in a lurch for the entire film until finally it gives you another peek. The problem with this film was I felt so incredibly confused on not just one end. There wasn't just one detail where, for instance, I'm going to have to go to the cast list here. I didn't even know her name was Lorraine.
I heard her name once, twice.
So not only it wasn't just some small detail like her name, right? As long as I'm seeing her the whole time, I guess I don't need to know her name. We have James Bond where a character's name is M. It doesn't matter. But it was that. It was also what is the MacGuffin necessary? I don't need too much. I just need something to go off of. It's very confusing as far as which character is allied with whom. There's questions about what side, where are we location-wise.
What's funny is that a lot of spy movies do that, and it's good. It's good to not know who is with who and stuff. But this, it's the bad kind of confusion. It's confusion for confusion's sake that feels unmotivated.
The waters were very much muddied.
Yes.
For no particular reason.
James McAvoy's character, David Percival, James McAvoy did his best with a character that he was in there purposely to be mysterious and this kind of bad boy type, and that's all he was, a mysterious bad boy type. There was no motivation there. There was no connectivity or no sensibility among anybody, and that just adds to the whole circle of confusion that I was thrown around in this theater for 2 hours.
And it was very campy. It was very...
Yeah, oh my God.
And not... For me, it didn't affect it. It was just the style of which it was filmed. I didn't hold it against it. It was just... I took it as it was because, for one, you're setting it in the 80s, so in a way you're almost allowed to if you're just going to set your film in the 80s.
Once again, you got good campy like Guardians of the Galaxy or Baby Driver, and then you got bad campy where every single scene has a music cue, and you're like, oh my god, stop!
Well, that's interesting that you say Baby Driver because I had to write that down. It had a lot of similarities between Baby Driver in that a lot of the action sequences were kind of
choreographed.
Were somewhat choreographed
music.
with music, and of course from the 80s they didn't go into the future to get futuristic music, but it was real time music incorporated into the surround area, and I thought that was a bold choice, and I enjoyed.
It's a cool choice, definitely.
And again, we discussed on Baby Driver.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be somewhat of a theme that we're either going to start to really see some creativity with it, or we're going to get tired of it going forward. But I think it's a mainstay from here on out.
I mean,
in a lot of films. But with that being said, I don't know that it particularly worked outside of the action sequences in this film.
Not at all, because every single scene that didn't have action, like every scene that was just dialogue between...
Just somebody walking by.
Every single scene was just blaring, like, cool 80s tunes, and it was like... It just pulled me out even more. I was like, well, this is purposeful, and it's definitely not working.
Well, but, I mean, yeah, it was purposeful. But, if you like the 80s... That's actually a fantastic soundtrack.
No, it's a great 80s soundtrack. Some great 80s visuals, a lot of cool 80s little culture things thrown in there. But that's all just noise.
And really...
all noise.
My biggest problem, again, going back to the commercial aspect of this, was I didn't feel... The best part of this film, the absolute best part of this film... are the action sequences, right? And
oh my god,
I don't think that's debatable, right?
No, especially like the one that's like 3/4 of the way through. We'll get into that. Yeah, the action is cool. It's cool.
The action is the best part. That was the best part for me, and it was actually genuinely fantastic. It was great. It was wonderful to see, and it was what I paid my ticket price for.
Yeah.
My problem is that the majority of what I saw in the film of the action sequences, I had already seen within the trailer.
Yeah, most of that...
Nothing was new to me outside of a very select scene, which was awesome, fantastic, but not much was new. And it's another problem that I felt this film faced. Most of what I was going to like about this film was already advertised to me. So when the best part of the film, obviously you want to make it stand out, right, as an advertiser. Yeah. When it's the action, when I'm seeing this commercial, I'm imagining that this is just going to be non-stop action, as opposed to the spy espionage thriller that I unwittingly signed up for and was confused throughout. So it was just that dissuaded me immediately.
Yeah,
the visual cues were actually pretty good. There was a lot of vibrant blue hues. It's very dark overall.
Yeah, super dark, but like kind of neon-y.
Yeah, a great
color palette.
Yes, and that's kind of set within the tone of even the posters.
Yeah.
The trailers. There's the Atomic Blonde, I believe, is in.
It's all spray paint.
Lights.
Yeah,
or spray paint. Correct. Which is an interesting choice because it didn't. Outside of it being in the 80s, I didn't get that vibe. I mean, you're in war-torn Berlin or Cold War-torn Berlin. Yeah. Very poverty-stricken, very guerrilla fight for yourself, revolutionary feel. And then the neon clashed almost directly with it. It'd be different if it was a rollerblading film or something more appropriately where the 80s are honestly more directly connected.
So the man who directed this film, David Leitch, don't know how to pronounce it. He directed previously Fight Club, he did stunts for Fight Club. He directed John Wick, and he has had his hands on a lot of films that are very stylized action. So I totally understand what he was going for, but this one was just style for style's sake. Didn't feel like anything important besides just to kind of lift the story off the ground because the narrative was not there to do it. So he's like, well, if we put enough sound cues, light cues, visual cues, dramatic looks in there, it'll be a good movie because that's what people like. But I'm not down with that. And going back to what you said about the fight scenes, there were probably 4 big fight scenes in this movie. 3 of which
we saw
almost all of in the trailer. Like, nothing was really that different at all.
Well, I just want to see if you agree with this, or if you know. But it says here, and I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but he's directing Deadpool 2.
He is directing Deadpool 2. Yes.
That's interesting.
And I don't think he's a bad director because I love the John Wick movies.
John Wick was fantastic.
John Wick is great. John Wick is what this movie is if it's a good movie. It's almost a. Let me say this. So John Wick is a revenge movie, right? Fight Club is like a psycho thriller. This movie is like 8 things all at once, but it is nothing. In the beginning, it's a revenge thriller. Then it's an espionage movie. Then at some point, it's a melodrama. Then it's like in 2 scenes, it's like a screwball comedy. And it just goes
back to a
back and forth, and just like it doesn't have an identity. Every single scene. It's like, oh, here's a romantic scene. Oh, the next one, now we're going back to the revenge thriller scene. And then here's the chase sequence. And it all just feels totally disjointed.
When really all it needed to focus on, I think in order to be original by itself, is just to showcase that Charlize Theron is the main star of this film. And she's fantastic. I mean, she's a fantastic actress.
Oh, she deserves better than this, man.
And I think it's a great idea, just poorly executed.
I think it would have been better if, and this isn't a spoiler because this isn't all the trailers, but in the beginning she's given this mission because a fellow spy of hers was killed in Berlin, and she is sent to go find the guy who has the list who killed him. I think it would have worked because they try to sprinkle in a few of like, maybe she and him had a thing in the past. They were in love, or they had hooked up, or whatever. She obviously had an emotional connection to him. I feel like if they would have settled on something more concrete and more sympathetic like that, it would have been a much better movie. John Wick, they killed his dog, so he killed them all. And it's great. It's motivating, and it works. This one, totally unmotivated. She just needed another motivator because although Charlize is great, Lorraine, I didn't even like her that much as a protagonist. I couldn't even really get behind her because I didn't really care.
And because
I didn't care about what was going on.
And that was purposeful within itself, right? I mean, you're supposed to not know that much about her, so that way you're questioning her character herself and who she is to the whole, how she is in relative to the whole story, and what her motivations are too. You're supposed to be finding this out, but really, if you're disconnecting the entire film from your audience, after a certain point, if you don't give me a payout of actually finding a character, some semblance of some rock of which I can anchor to within the film to care about, that you're just going to get just that. I'm not going to care about anything, and I'm going to start to miss important details that you might think is important as a director. And I feel this is one of those films where I, unfortunately, think a second viewing is almost necessary.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, but I mean, I'll probably find out more stuff the second time around, but still, I didn't enjoy watching it at all.
Yeah, and that's really the biggest sin. Now, again, the best part of this film is the action, the fighting, and you alluded to it earlier. 3/4 of the way through,
there's a cool, quote unquote, uncut.
And it's one stop when it feels almost, it's very much Birdman-esque where it I don't know if it is, but it's
very, very cleverly edited to look like it's a one-take fight scene up and down the stairs of this apartment building, in and out of the rooms, the elevators.
Very
super
environmental.
Cool. Very inspiring little piece of filmmaking.
I don't know, realistic, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Charlize did all her own stunts, and going in watching that scene, I was like, whoa, this is so cool watching this. Stunt guys did a great job, camera guys did a great job. After that 12 minutes was over, I was almost picked up a little bit. I was like, ooh, maybe I like this movie. And then after that, I was just deflated again. But little 12 minutes of ecstasy and a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and that's really, I don't know why it wasn't, I just don't, I don't know if it's because they were trying to be more realistic, because in a true spy thriller, I mean, theoretically, you're not... Another great element of this film is and I very rarely say this outside of, Planet of the Apes or something, but props to hair and makeup for post-fight wounds and consistency for keeping those throughout the film. Like, those were fantastic. Those were some of the best battle wounds that I've ever seen on anybody, and it was consistent in a consistent timeline. I never thought, I don't think she was punched in the face and that black mark's there. It's kind of uncomfortable with a woman fighting, but and I hope that doesn't sound sexist. It's just like that. I know it's a me problem, but it's just I always feel a little uncomfortable seeing that. But once you get past that, and after a certain point, getting all that makeup on there, for the fighting and the wounds and everything, I just thought that was incredible and incredibly done. And a lot of great moments are seeing the consistent built on wounds and how just everything would affect a person if they were realistically somehow do this.
From her eyes being slightly bloodshot and the one eye that she got hit harder with, and then I actually noticed because in the beginning of the film she had obviously the whole right side of her face was beat up, and then in that giant fight scene she gets hit with a duffel bag full of guns right there, and I'm like, oh, that's what that was. She had that terrible black eye, and that's what that was from. I thought that was cool too. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
cool makeup.
Yeah, so really, even in any movie, I mean, there's usually some shining aspect of it.
This isn't, I mean, it's not among the worst movies. It's not a terrible movie. There's some fun parts, so I can't just trash it, but it was really, I was disappointed, man, because like we said with the trailer,
you didn't get what you paid for.
I didn't get what I paid for, yeah, and
Wonder
even
Woman overachieved what it sold.
Yeah.
What it sold to me, it didn't look good. It didn't look
no,
good.
It didn't look good to me either.
It had the back history of
the studio.
Of the studio itself and how DC Comics has failed.
And then it just blown away. And sometimes a movie turns out different and that it's good. It
evolves within a movie. You get sold the first act of the film. You get that because you're repaired, and then moving forward on that point in when you're watching a film, you're like, oh, I don't know what's coming on next because the commercials didn't cover this part, and I don't know, maybe that's just me being a purist of I'm the type of person and movie viewer where I don't want to know the end. I don't want to know what's coming. Whether it be reading a book, watching a movie, I don't really want to know too much other than what's necessary to get me to get intrigued and to see that it's new and it's exciting and that it's something unique.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't want to know what the ending is in order to enjoy this film to the best of my ability. So, but besides that, it's just it's got a lot of spy on spy jargon for me that really also was confusing.
Yeah.
And I just don't know.
It's got a lot of spy on spy something.
Well, that's also in the trailer.
That is in the trailer. You're not.
But even that was. I mean, I felt like I saw the entire thing in the trailer.
Yeah, it was 30 seconds. It was pretty much they didn't really cut that scene at all in the trailer.
And again, I don't know if it was deserved. Nothing in this film felt deserved in whether it was character romances.
Yeah.
Whether it was just the ending.
Yeah.
I don't know that... the ending was...
Not going to give any spoilers, but you can't do the biggest, twist ending and go, oh! And it be a good movie. That doesn't make it a good movie when you do a totally unexpected ending.
It takes a very rare film akin to The Unusual Suspects, where I just don't like the film and then finally the ending. I know. And it's just so confusing.
Love The Usual Suspects. See, I hated it the first time I watched
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, why does this ending make the film? I hate that. But anyways, but it takes something like that to deserve it. But again, it was not a good enough payoff to where the entire boring lead up to it felt necessary. I went solo on this film. I didn't see it with my girlfriend, and even she was like, "Did I miss anything?" I said,
"Nah,
not really. You got what you wanted out of the trailer, unfortunately." And I honestly wish that it was otherwise. I wish that the trend of Wonder Woman, Atomic Blonde, where we're having more female protagonists as the mainstay of a film.
Female kicking butt, that's awesome. Yeah, we need more of that, but
it just wasn't meant to be in this film. For this film, they did a disservice.
Correct.
Well, I think that's all I got. Anything else you wanted to point out specifically?
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, Charlize deserves better. James McAvoy, who I was pleasantly surprised with in Split, he deserves better too. They're both super talented actors that did... Honestly, the fact that I hated both of their characters so much really blows me away because it means that the writing was so bad that it dragged two really world-class actors down into total mediocrity. So,
Yeah, I just didn't understand their characters or their motivations until it was too late for me to be...
Because they're spies, bro. You're not supposed to. Haha.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so to cap it all off... see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yes. Bust a cap. And,
The bust the cap in this movie's rating.
Yes.
I'm going to give it.
What is your Boucher bars?
Boucher bars. 49.
Whoa!
49.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
It's almost like mediocre. If it was a 50, it would be, But it doesn't do it for me, man. Action sequences are not enough to save this film for me.
I will say that I enjoy the 80s. The 80s music is some of my favorite.
I was annoyed.
When they're fighting to Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, that was fantastic. No, when she turns on the stereo and it's do 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 bam bam cut choke. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. So anyways, with that in mind, I'm gonna go around 60. I'm gonna
60?
go 60 is probably it wasn't so bad that it offended me by how bad it was, as some other films have been, like Last Action Hero. It didn't offend me by how bad it was. It was just, I felt that it overextended its reach and failed to do so. So in that extent, I'll give it a 60.
Besides The Last Action Hero, is this the lowest rated? Is this the lowest rating you've given a movie that we've seen this year? I think it might be, man. Yeah, we have to.
Pirates of the Caribbean was pretty bad. That was pretty bad for both of us.
I thought that you gave it like a 65. I gave it like a 30. I did not like it.
I don't think I liked it either. I thought I was pretty close.
Maybe you did. You know
what? After doing this week after week after week, I just kind of somewhat gets lost. Like, I'd have to be reminded that we did that show, and then I'd remember. But just to remember off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. Pirates of the Caribbean, Spider-Man I liked. Lost City of Z I liked.
It's a lot of good movies. But remember that period, like in February, March, April?
I remember some of our viewers messaged me and said,
You need to start doing good movies.
Are there any films that you do like?
You hate every movie that you watch.
So now, unfortunately, we're off of the blockbuster hiatus, and we're going to get back into this lull until we get into dramatic Oscar time.
Which isn't like 2 months.
Yeah, that's not
too bad. See, fall is like indie movie time.
Yes.
So there's a lot of good stuff going on in the
It ain't
fall.
no Big Sick, but it's Atomic Blonde. So
Atomic Bomb.
Atomic Bomb. All right. Right after this, Give Me 5, we will be talking... And I've got an interesting question for you, Gary.
Oh, no.
And this is not only interesting, it will blow your mind.
Does it rhyme with booberbacks?
I don't know. It might be Alex Rodriguez's birthday part 2.
Ooh.
Right after this.
Red Ribbon Realty Group at HomeSmart is a full-service real estate team of Phoenix natives with over 15 years of experience in the industry. When you work with them, you have 2 full-time realtors representing your best interests throughout your entire transaction, whether you are selling, buying, or renting. They also believe in supporting their community. Use code word chopped greens, and Red Ribbon Realty Group will donate 15% of their net commission from your transaction to the nonprofit charity of your choice. Visit their website at www.redribbongroup.com and find them on Facebook. You can also email them at info@redribbongroup.com or call them at 602-888-6638. Red Ribbon Realty Group. Trust. Commitment. Home.
He popped the other one. The third beer is now en route to his liver.
I need a movie review beer, and then I usually change brands for the Give Me 5 beer. I just went
fun
from
beer. Is that the fun beer?
Yeah,
because the first beer must help you think.
Exactly.
Get your artiste.
My first beer is usually either Guinness or Sam Adams, and now I have a Leinenhugel Summer Shandy.
Okay.
Leinenhugel. I don't usually like these lemonade beers, but it's pretty good.
Still accepting applications from Lemonade.
Leinenhugel
to sponsor the show.
Leinenhugel sponsor.
All right, Gary. This is Give Me 5, the part of the show where I've got 5 questions for you, you've got 5 questions for me. We don't know what they are, but we will answer them honestly. Yeah, it's almost like I say that every time.
I don't know,
would you like to go first or second in this case?
I'll give it to you. I feel like you haven't gone first in a while.
I haven't, not since yesterday. All right. Shawn Mendes has debuted his first fragrance. The There's Nothing Holding Me Back singer created the scent called Shawn Mendes Signature.
Is he like someone who's famous right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be straight up with you guys. I just listened to Despacito for the first time today.
I actually haven't listened to
Ever? Really? Okay, cool. So I'm not alone. Oh, I know who this guy is.
Yeah, he's one of those, you'll know his songs.
How old is this kid? He's 18?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But,
he's winning at life.
But this fragrance is for both men and women.
Oh.
Yes. Quote, for me personally, I have smelled some women's perfumes and said, I would wear that. I'm sure a lot of women will smell my cologne and be like, wow, that's awesome. I would wear that too. I've always thought of it as just something that smells good, said Sean. He got the idea for his scent, which features lemon, pineapple, apple, florals, dulce de leche, skin musk, and maple from a cream he purchased in Brazil. Gary, do you ever see yourself launching a fragrance line? And if you do, what would the name of your fragrance line be? What would it be? What would it be? Interesting.
You know, I used to be like in junior high really big on Axe. Like I would go I would go to gym class and I would get all sweaty and then I would spray Axe all over my body and be like, "Oh my god, the girls are going to love this." And then I realized when I was like 18, wow, sweat and Axe actually smells like someone's butt. So, I do have some expensive cologne in my... I do. It's like a $300 cologne that I only use for very special occasions.
Yeah, for very special dinners, maybe rubbing elbows with the mayor for your documentary. Okay.
Yeah, for the documentary, I threw some of that on. I got it from my godfather, and I would totally love to start a fragrance line, because what dude would not want a fragrance line? And if I almost want to say Sex Panther just as a tribute to Anchorman, but I won't. So let's say...
Because the connotation would be bad. It'd be funny,
yes.
But it would be... Nobody would
People
want
to buy
use it.
Yeah.
So you need something
honestly, if I had one, see, I don't have time to think about this. So I'm gonna have to do something really clever, really quick. Let's say,
It's gotta be like one word or a phrase. Like
no. It would just be Boucher. My last name Boucher, but it's French
with
pronunciation.
With
like a little apostrophe,
yeah.
Bouche with the apostrophe.
Yeah, Boucher.
It's called accent aigu. I speak French.
Okay.
Boucher.
Fantastic.
It would be a lovely blend of beer and BO.
Go near your
Boucher Club
Greens with Boucher. All right, go ahead, Gary.
Alright, so in honor of seeing an action movie, see, I couldn't find anything cool about Atomic Blonde to do trivia about. So now we're just going to do a little action movie trivia.
Okay.
I have here the top 5 highest grossing action movies, U.S. box office.
U.S.
Throw a little wrench.
Difference, because I'd imagine Transformers would be on there if it was.
Ooh.
If it was.
I'm just going to tell you right now that it's not, because I have 10, and I just need you to pull the top 5 out of this 10.
Okay, so you're going to give me all 10 and I have to pull the top 5?
Yes.
Okay.
You ready for this?
And is it alphabetically or just randomly?
What? Yeah, I'm just going to list them off.
Hit me with your best shot.
Star Wars, The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Star Wars, Rogue One.
Ooh, okay. Rogue One.
Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
Interesting that you would choose this particular question, but okay.
The Dark Knight Rises.
This is going to be hard just to write and keep track of because it's there's a lot of sequels with the similar title.
Force Awakens, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Number 6, Avatar.
Avatar. I'm guessing the blue people, right?
Not the Last Airbender remake, yes. The one that we don't talk about.
Okay.
Jurassic World.
Okay.
Jurassic World. Number 8, Star Wars.
I'm sorry, what?
Star Wars: A New Hope. Episode 4/Episode 1. Number 9, The Avengers.
Okay.
And number 10, The Avengers: Age of Ultron. Alright. Can you pull the top 5 out that list of 10? You got 3 strikes.
And then I'm out.
And then you're out.
So, is it accounting for inflation?
Yes, it is accounting for inflation.
So then it is going to be A New Hope. Or, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's, which... Oh... Yeah, no, I'm sorry, A New Hope, yeah.
You gonna pick A New Hope?
Yes.
No. That's your first strike.
That's
these newer movies have made an egregious amount of money, even with inflation.
Okay.
Comparatively.
So, yeah, I'll give that to the population boom. Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a check right there. Dark Knight itself, just the Dark Knight. It's got to be in there.
Correct. Oh, just to give you an update, Jurassic World is 3, Dark Knight is 5.
Ooh, so
You got 2 strikes left, and you got 3 more.
You know what? I'm going to go with The Force Awakens.
You're number 1 all time at the
Yeah.
U.S. box office is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Just movies in general, actually, unless
Okay.
you do inflation with Gone with the Wind.
Right. I'm going to go with Avatar. That did pretty well.
Yep, number 2, Avatar.
what I thought.
All right,
So
you
I'm
got 1 more left.
So I'm looking at... So which one do I need? 4?
Yep, you need number 4.
Phantom Menace I don't think did too well. It's got to be It's got to be one of the Avengers. And I'm going to go with Avengers. Just the original, the OG.
Locking it in.
Locking it in.
Correctamundo.
All right.
Too easy.
Too easy. Get
And so
outta
if you want to
here.
know the order after the top 5, number 6 is Rogue One, 7 is Star Wars Episode 1, 8 is Star Wars A New Hope, 9 is Age of Ultron, 10 is The Dark Knight Rises.
I'm kind of disappointed that Rogue One went up there. I mean,
It wasn't that good.
it wasn't that good.
I didn't
wasn't
like
bad.
it, and I love Star Wars.
Yeah, hot take. All right, Gary, Spider-Scorpion hybrids are a real thing.
God, I saw the picture.
Yes, and one poor man in Arizona had to find that out for himself.
I
when he
wanna
found
leave.
one near his house. And this isn't one of those cases where you hear Spider-Scorpion hybrid, but it really just turns out to be somewhat scary looking.
No, this
Innocent
thing
spider.
is straight from the pit of
No,
hell.
yeah, this thing is genuinely cousins to both the common spider and the desert scorpion, so good luck sleeping tonight. Gary, as the child of the arachnid know-it-all mother who had a role in the movie
Like it freaks.
is this the scariest thing imaginable in a creature? And then I got a second part after this.
Okay. Yes. I saw the picture and I actually saw how big it was. It wasn't just zoomed in. This thing is like pretty. It's like the size of this Gatorade bottle that I got right here.
That's pretty impressive.
It's freaking
We're
huge.
looking at like 50 milliliters right there. That's a big scorpion.
This is little Gatorade Fierce right here, and
that scorpion was fierce.
this is probably tied with the camel spider. If you've seen those, the camel spiders that like ate soldiers' legs off in Afghanistan because they inject them with Novocaine just to numb them. These bugs have only been sent here by Satan to kill us. I refuse to believe anything else. Part 2.
Jesus Christ help us.
Jesus
and then I wanted to know. I'm so sorry. And if you had to create any hybrid of animals to create the ultimate killing machine, which 2 animals would you choose?
The ultimate killing machine.
Is it Sharktopus?
Well, it's got to be
Is
something
it-
that no. It's got to be the great white eagle.
The great white eagle.
Because it's got to be able to
Wow,
fly.
Yeah.
And then it's also got to be able to swim. A great white shark is the most dangerous predator in the ocean, and the bald eagle, if you make it bigger, it's like the most dangerous predator in the air. Or maybe like the great white falcon, just like a really fierce bird, and then a great white
Like
shark.
really sharp talons.
Just
Okay.
imagine like a great white shark with like a 300-foot wingspan flying over
That's what
flying over the city. It sounds exactly like the plot of one of the greatest movies of the last 5 years.
Oh yes. Forget it, Big Sick. Move over. All right, go ahead.
So, I just wanted to give a little happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You were the last president, and we really miss you. All right, today is Barack Obama's 56th, I believe, birthday.
Okay.
And in
Gonna have to
honor,
fact check that one.
I'm pretty sure it's 56th.
All right, let me see how old. But you keep going.
So, in honor of Mr. 44's birthday, I have Obama facts.
He's 56.
56. I knew it.
facts.
Obama facts. I have
Okay.
3 sets of 3 facts. One of them is false. 2 of them is true. You got to sniff out the false one. 2 of them are true. I said is true. Look, I gotta get my verb tenses right. Alrighty, you ready?
I was born not 56, but I was ready.
I bet you can't bury these facts like bury Obama. Haha. All right.
That was a bit of a reach, but
I
okay.
am so sorry. Facts number 1. He collects Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian comics.
So I'm saying whether it's true or false.
Yes. Oh no. Hold, I'm gonna give you 3.
Oh, and then I find out the
You
fake
find
one.
you find
Got
the
it.
fake one. Yep. And number 1 is that he collects Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian comics. Number 2, he has won a Grammy. Number 3, he received a walk-on offer to play basketball at Chicago Community College.
I'm going with Conan the Barbarian comics.
That's the false one?
That's the false one.
You are the false one because that is absolutely true. He collects Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian comics.
Oh, Spider-Man, I should have mentioned that. But I bet the true one then is the Grammy. That has to be the Grammy.
He has won a Grammy for spoken word
Yeah,
album. Yep.
that's what I thought.
So he has not received a walk-on offer to play basketball, even though he was like the smoothest, coolest, most ballin' president. Still wasn't that good at basketball. Number 2, he gets his hair cut twice a week from the same barber he's been seeing every day, or every 2 weeks. I'm so sorry. He gets his hair cut twice a month.
Yeah, rethink this question.
From the same barber he's been seeing twice a month since he was a boy.
Okay.
Number 2, he hates ice cream with a burning passion. Number 3, he has read every Harry Potter book.
You know what? He has daughters, so I imagine that he read to them as kids, and a Harry Potter book would align right in there.
Using logic, I like it.
I'd go with, being a working out president that he was, and somewhat is, enjoying basketball. I'm gonna go with one more time just so I remember which one's the fake one.
Haircut? Or he hates ice cream with a burning passion.
Man.
He can't bury it.
I'm gonna go with ice cream because burning passion sounds like your verbiage.
Really?
Yes.
Obama does hate ice cream. He does not get his haircut from the same barber. He worked at Baskin & Robbins as a teenager, and now he can't stand ice cream anymore.
Oh, so he does. That's true. That's true. Yes.
Yeah. He hates ice cream, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Barack Obama does not like ice cream, so if you meet him, do not offer to take him to Baskin & Robbins.
So he hasn't read all the Harry Potter books?
He has. Which
one was the fake one?
He gets his haircut twice a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was so confusing.
I mean, he's usually pretty fresh. So.
That's true, but anyways. Hair didn't grow that fast.
No.
All right, number 3, he is fluent in Spanish and German.
Okay.
Number 2, he is left-handed. Number 3, he does not like being called Barry.
Oh man, he does not enjoy being called Barry, and yet you chose to purposely call him.
See what I did there?
Yeah. I'll go with him being left-handed. What was that first one?
He is fluent in Spanish and German.
Out of all the languages, I'd imagine if you were to create it up, it would be something like he's fluent in Swedish or something, you know? I'm gonna go with that third one being fake.
That he doesn't like being called Barry?
That's correct.
You're fake! Because he actually doesn't being like called Barry. Once he started going to Harvard Law School, he made all of his classmates stop calling him Barry. He wanted to be called Barack. Or Mr. President or whatever. The fake one is he is not fluent in Spanish and German. I pulled that one right out of my butt. He is left-handed, the sixth left-handed president. And now you have failed at Obama facts.
Oh, too
so
bad.
I give it back to you.
Well, Gary, I will bring up the mood here. Many children dream of being superheroes and saving those in need of help. 11-year-old Liang I'm gonna mess this up. Yoi from South China's Guangdong province was actually able to make an incredible difference and be a hero for others. He had been fighting brain cancer since he was 9, and surgeries and treatments were not able to eliminate the tumor. As he neared the end, he revealed to his mother that he wanted her to donate his organs so that he could save the lives of other children.
Aww.
It was likely that he read about tissue donation at school through one story about bone marrow donations to treat leukemia and another titled Immortal Eyes. Quote, I have seen many people doing good deeds and I think they are great. I want to be a great child too, he reportedly told his mother. Lang passed away on June 6th, and doctors were able to harvest his liver and kidneys that were successfully transplanted into others who needed them. The medical staff, with Lang at the end, were very touched by his bravery and selflessness, and someone snapped a photo of them bowing 3 times to show their utmost respect for him. Gary, what is the bravest thing you've ever had to do in your life?
The bravest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. Well, shout out to that kid.
Yes.
Rest in peace, his family.
Yao Yui.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm
that is
utterly killing
that's
you with
honestly
my mispronunciation of his name.
That's incredible. No, it doesn't even measure close. I'm honestly thinking the bravest thing I've ever had to do.
Maybe the most selfless thing you've ever had.
The most selfless thing I've ever done?
Humble brag right here.
Am I about to get all humble braggy on you guys in Chap Greens? Let's see. Gosh, I've just done so many good deeds.
Maybe
in my life.
I remember a story. Did you you helped Mr. Wilson?
That was not the most selfless thing I've ever done. I did help Mr. Wilson move. Shout out to you, Mr. Wilson. I'm gonna go back to the Brave thing because this is something stuck out of my mind when I was in high school. My varsity basketball coach my first 2 years was a total a-hole.
Okay.
And he was very verbally and sometimes physically abusive towards us. He would punch us, spit on us, choke us up against the walls. This is my first time playing organized basketball. I didn't know how to deal with it, so I would come home and vent about it. And my mom, I actually totally understand why she did this, but back then I didn't. Being the mom member that she is, she wrote an anonymous email to our school detailing every complaint that everything that our coach had done. And naturally, North Point did not fire the head coach. They kept him in place, and he obviously knew it was me because the email had said all the stuff that had been done to me, and so he lined us all up, and he was like, which one of your guys' mothers told on me to the school? If you don't step forward right now, this whole entire team, I'm going to pull you out of all these tournaments, and everything is going to be forfeited. And so I was 14. I was the youngest guy on the team. Everybody was standing there, all these guys who I looked up to, and I stepped forward and I was like, it was me. And I was treated terribly for the rest of the season, but for the 10 seconds in my brain before I stepped forward, I was just sitting there in silence. It was the most tortured my mind has ever been in my entire life. So that took a lot of guts for me to be just look at him and be it wasn't anybody here, it was me. So yeah.
How many wind sprints did you have to do after that?
I threw up every day at practice after that.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And then he's actually banned from coaching in the state of Arizona now because he punched a kid on his club team. So that's the kind of coach that he was.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of brought the mood up, and I just kind of brought it back down. So
way to go, Gary.
My question for you, Phil.
Very
actually,
good.
I'm gonna start out with. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna start out with a little anecdote. I was so happy the other day when I went to In-N-Out and I discovered
their fries, which are delicious.
Not only that, their fries are good. I don't get what Trey and Luke was going on there. They are the most wholesome, unsalted, and delicious fries. But I discovered at In-N-Out you can ask for a 3x3, a 4x4, a 5x5, or a 6x6, which that means the number of patties you can get on your burger. So I walked in there.
Unlimited.
Exactly, I walked in there.
Unlimited patties.
Power, unlimited patties. I walked in there and I said, "Can I have a 4x4?" And they said, "Sure." No questions. I was like, "Wait, what? This is real?" Because the guy who drew my blood at the doctor's office last week told me about this. 4x4. You gotta try it. So I tried it. And it's real. You can get 4 patties. It's like a double. 2 double-doubles. It's so good. And so I realized at that day, that brought me so much happiness. Probably too much happiness. I realized that day I could not live without In-N-Out. I go at least twice a week. I love it so much. So I've got some fast food. Which one could you not live without questions? I have 4 groupings of 3 fast food restaurants that are kind of similar. You can only have one. You got to get rid of the other 2. So I'm going to go down the line and ask you, which one and why would you keep it?
Okay, as long as you don't do my weakness. And I think, and I'm pretty sure you know my weakness.
Okay, let's just start off with your weakness. Subway, Jimmy John's, or Potbelly. Which one are you going to keep?
Potbelly is the lone survivor.
Exactly. So I didn't put that in there because I was like, I know you're going to pick that. So first we got Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, and Starbucks.
Sorry, Gary, you're fired. We're going with Krispy Kreme.
You're keeping Krispy Kreme over both of those?
Yeah.
But you can't get all the coffee and stuff you can get.
I don't like coffee. You stepped into the
wrong
pool.
Oh, you just want the donuts.
I need quality donuts.
That's true.
I don't need coffee.
I feel you. All right, number 2, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King.
You know what? Taco Bell's dead.
Whoa!
I don't need those refried beans.
I love Taco Bell.
I frequent McDonald's breakfast. I don't go either to
the
Burger
McGriddle
King
man.
I don't go to either Burger King or McDonald's for their burger. So I'm gonna Burger King. I will eat a burger there. McDonald's, I don't eat their burger out of mind power of just me trying to be stronger kind of thing. But anyways, I will choose McDonald's because for one, I know I won't eat a cheeseburger there. But 2, I actually like their breakfast.
Yeah, when the McGriddle came back, I was really happy.
Yes.
So happy.
Yes.
Next one. I'm sorry. Next one. Cane's Chicken, Chick-fil-A, or Sonic?
Oh, interesting pairing there. So Cane's is dead.
What? These places are so good. How are they dead?
Ruby my girlfriend, Ruby loves Cane's. So
I do too, man.
literally at least once a week we have Cane's, and I don't even enjoy the fried chicken that much. She enjoys the sauce more than the chicken,
The
so
sauce
she just
is the
uses
best
it
part.
as an excuse medium to eat the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, I'm there forced to eat there, so I'd be perfectly fine without Cane's. The other two are Chick-fil-A and Sonic. There's some nostalgia there with Sonic. It's not even any better
Sonic
than
is
anywhere
like,
else.
I always forget about it. I live a half mile away from a Sonic. It's so freaking good. I love
It's
it,
a
man.
nostalgia thing, and it's not even any better than anywhere else that offers it. But their grilled cheese, to me, just because it's a classic in my childhood,
Grilled
is-
cheese,
is
corn
good.
dogs, all that good stuff.
So I think for that reason alone, I'm gonna have to go with Sonic because it's also open on Sunday. Not
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
dissing it for not, but it just I get
Chick-fil-A,
more
like,
availability.
whenever I'm having, like, a lazy Sunday, I drive down to Chick-fil-A, then I'm like, no!
Yeah, because
So
when's your
upset.
lazy day?
Right?
On Sunday.
Yes.
All
Last
right.
but not least, you
Yes.
got Whataburger, Wendy's, and In-N-Out.
Ooh.
I-
Wendy's and In-N-Out so are the only ones that are in, and
You can get more at Wendy's, but Whataburger, I think, is
it
better.
is quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with In-N-Out. I
In-N-Out?
do enjoy Wendy's, and it's cheaper, of course, but In-N-Out is a staple. If you're on
In-N-Out
the
is
West Coast,
it's pretty cheap, though. My freaking...
it's not too bad.
My 4x4, it's like $4.89 or something. It was probably more than that, but you know.
All right. Yeah. So okay, good one. And my turn. Over 30 years after Daniel LaRusso, Crane kicked his way into pop culture immortality in The Karate Kid, two of the film's original stars will reunite for a new series titled Cobra Kai. Ralph
What?
Macchio, who played LaRusso in the franchise, and William Zabka, who played his leg-sweeping nemesis, Johnny Lawrence, will
Wait.
both reprise their roles in Cobra Kai.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Ralph Macchio, who played LaRusso in the franchise. But yeah, it's going to be on a YouTube series, and it's going to be like a 10-part episode. It's not even necessarily a sequel, a direct sequel. It's, I think it's kind of like a comedy spin-off, some version. It's a YouTube channel sponsored event. So, Gary, I've got a list of names for you here, and I want you to tell me whether they are an actor who played a famous 80s villain or a screenwriter for random 80s movies.
Oh, geez. So I just have to guess actor or screenwriter.
Actors, screenwriters for all 80s. And this
80s.
ties into... I took over the Atomic Blonde.
Like, so this was your weird Atomic Blonde tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Vernon Wells. Was he a villain or a screenwriter?
Shoot, I don't know, so I'm just going to go with writer.
Wrong. It was a villain. He was Wes in Mad Max 2 in 1981.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I would have never got that.
So
Oh, God.
you have one wrong. All right, next one. Rutger Hauer. Villain or screenwriter?
Villain, Blade Runner.
Yes, he was Roy Batty in Blade Runner in 1982.
I know this because I am super hyped for the next one. I love Blade Runner.
Okay, fantastic. Jonathan Buttel. Villain or screenwriter?
See, that sounds like an actor name. But I'm gonna go with writer on this one.
Absolutely screenwriter for The Last Starfighter in 1984.
Jesus.
He's on a roll. Ricardo Montalban.
Actor.
Any idea what I could be pulling his name from?
No, I just have heard his name on South Park, so...
There you go. He's the villain, Khan in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan in 1982.
Khan!
Yes. Loris Elwaini.
Loris Elvaini.
Elwaini, I believe.
Elwaini. Writer?
Absolutely screenwriter
Woo!
for My Girl, which was in 1991 but developed in the 80s, late 80s. So, a good sniff in there. Robert Kamen.
Can you spell that for me, the last name?
Kamen.
That's an actor name.
That is absolutely not an actor name.
No!
That's a screenwriter for The Karate Kid
Wow!
in 1984.
No.
Oh, and the streak is dead. It was...
I had like 3 in a row.
Yeah, you had 4 in a row.
Woo!
Had being the
Operative
keyword in
word,
there, yeah. Eric Luke.
L-U-C?
Luke.
Ah, that sounds like an actor name.
That is a screenwriter name
No!
for Explorers in 1985. Yeah. All right, and next one, Kurtwood Smith.
Actor.
Okay. Yes, it is a villain.
Yes.
Clarence Boddicker in RoboCop in 1987, also known as
Yes.
Red in that 80s show. Or Or that 70s show.
I was like, wait, I've never heard of that 80s show.
That 70s show, I'm sorry. And finally, Terrence Stamp.
Screenwriter.
Absolutely not.
Ah!
Villain, General Zod in Superman 2 in 1980.
You know who would be good at this is Maddie. I suck at 80s everything. I have not seen enough 80s stuff.
Yes, she is very much the...
She's the 80s gal around here.
Alright, your turn, bud. Your last one? No, your
second to last one. So, I have another rankings question. Because today, the song Despacito became the most viewed YouTube video of all time with 3.2 billion views.
What an outrage! Okay,
it got up there real quick. So what
did it be? Is that what you're?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna see if you can get what rounds out the top 5. I'm gonna give you the rest of the top 10, so the next 9. You tell me if you can get 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Of the most viewed YouTube videos ever. You ready?
I'm totes ready.
Number 1. Masha and the Bear, a recipe for disaster. This is the name of a real YouTube video with a ton of views. Masha and the Bear, go watch it. It is really weird.
Okay.
Number 2, Gangnam Style.
Yes. Say no more.
Number 3, Roar, Katy Perry. Katy Perry.
Okay.
Number 4, Bailando, Bailando. Do you know what that is?
That's a music video.
Music video, right?
For Enrique Iglesias.
Ooh. Number 5, See You Again.
For...
And I see you again.
Oh, Charlie Putnam or whatever in the spelling bee.
That was... No. That was in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the guy like sings that part is Charlie Putnam or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, next one.
Number 6, Uptown Funk.
Ooh.
Dope. Dance. Jump on it. Number 7, Shake It Off. Taylor Swift.
Oh, man.
Shake it off. Oh. Number 8, Sorry. By Justin Biebs.
Oh, yeah.
And then, finally, number 9, Sugar. I believe that is Maroon 5. Yes.
All right.
So can you guess? 2, 3, 4, and 5. Despacito is number 1.
4, and 5.
I'll give you no particular order, but can you get them?
Gangnam Style's number 2. It should be.
Gangnam Style is number 3.
Okay.
But I will give you that. Yeah.
So I got a check mark there. I'm gonna go with Uptown Funk.
Ooh, number 5.
Oh, just barely. Oh. Shake It Off. T-Swizzles.
No, Shake It Off is 7th.
Well, that took out my mood. Bailando.
Bailando is 8.
Uh-oh.
Right below Shake It Off.
Okay, now I gotta get serious here. Okay, there's no way. Oh. Man, this is tough.
I know, right? I was hoping you'd be like...
with Roar.
Roar's number 10. The bottom of the list. You got like 1 strike left, huh?
No, 2. I'm done. I got all 3. I got 3 strikes. I got Shake It Off, Bailando, and Roar. Those are my 3 strikes. So what's number
1,
2?
Despacito. Number 2, See You Again.
Oh.
Number 3, Gangnam Style. Number 4, Sorry. Number 5, Uptown Funk.
Okay.
And then number 6 is Masha and the Bear, a recipe for disaster. It's this little like Czech cartoon. It's really strange.
Very strange. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I will have to check that out
You will.
my earliest convenience.
Yeah.
And who knows when that will be. All right, Gary, I cannot beat last week's intro, so therefore I'm just going to go directly into Uber Fast!
I knew it was coming. I knew that you were saving it, and I was honestly, like, my stomach is twisting in knots waiting for this. Bring it on! I'm ready. You know what?
Gary,
I'm gonna predict some today.
Yes, fantastic.
I'm gonna get.
Well, you can't get any worse than
0 out of 5.
Yes, than 0 and 5, which you've done before. But then also last week you finally won a head-to-head matchup.
I did. I think that's the second time I've done that, or the first.
No, that's a bona fide first.
Dang. All right, but
that was against
Hunter. I will get 3 out of 5.
Hunter.
That was against Hunter. Hunter was surprisingly Hunter. I mean, like, we love you, man, but you You were pretty bad at Uber facts. It's okay though because I am too. But today I will not be. I will get 3 out of 5.
Yes, you're all by your lonesome here. This is, of course, the part of the show. I will give you 5 sets of facts, and there will be 3 within each. So I want you to tell me which of the 3 is wrong. I completely made it up out of the blossoms of my brain.
Your beautiful mind.
Yes,
like burping iguanas and koala claws. There have been some pretty notable Uber facts.
Yes, there have been. All right. Fact number 1: the Icelandic word for sleep is sofa. Fact number 2: heat stroke is more prevalent in Alaska than it is in Seattle, Washington. And fact number 3: bumblebees can fly higher than Mount Everest. Starting off strong. Don't you love it?
Number 3 is false.
The bumblebees?
Yes.
And he's starting off strong. He's off. I completely made up heat stroke is more prevalent in Alaska than it is in Seattle, Washington. I knew it was so outrageous.
That would be like one of those BuzzFeed articles, like 13 facts about heat stroke that you would never guess.
There you go. Next one. The bald eagle has a low fertility rate that allows females only 2 opportunities to become pregnant in their lifespan.
That's so sad. I love bald eagles.
A snail can stay asleep for up to 3 years.
Of course they can.
Fact number 3. Failing in love raises levels of nerve growth in a person's brain for about a year and can improve their memory.
Improve?
Improve.
Alright, so the first one was...
Bald eagle can only get pregnant twice in their life.
Second one is the snail. Third
snail
one
can sleep
is
for
the
3
falling in
years.
love.
Falling in love can actually improve your memory.
I definitely think that it's between the first 2.
Okay. Even though you said they were both right at the time.
Yes. The bald eagle thing, I mean, they are going extinct, but is that because of hunting or because of fertility or both? The snail one is false.
Oh, he's wrong.
What?
Completely made up the eagle.
Ah!
It's crazy, though, that it was mentioned in the show earlier, and I actually forgot that I
I
wrote
thought about that. I was like, ooh, I said bald eagle.
Next one. Tomatoes have more genes and stronger survival instincts than humans. Fact number 2. Elephant bones and tusks weigh so much that if they were removed, an elephant would weigh 150 pounds on average.
No.
Fact number 3. 25% of women feel their mood becomes negatively affected when they wear an ugly pair of underwear. Which fact is the fake fact?
The first one is the fake fact.
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes.
You're wrong, sir.
Which one?
I completely made up the elephant bones and tusks.
God.
Wow, he's over 3. This is a game for the ages.
I gotta get one, man. I gotta get one.
You gotta get one. All right, here we go. Those who wear glossy lipstick tend to be worse at physics. Fact number 2. Peacocks will fake sex sounds to get the attention of females. I hope it doesn't sound like that. And fact number 3. Every mile you walk drunk is 8 times more dangerous than every mile driven drunk. It's a bit of a word twister. You need that one again?
I want the first 2.
First 2. Those who wear glossy lipstick tend to be worse at physics. In fact number 2. Peacocks will fake sex sounds to get the attention of females. Which one's the fake fact?
The first one sounds really dumb, but the second one... I have studied peacocks intensively, meaning I have gone down to the Glendale Public Library and chased them.
Yes.
Because me and my buddy Phil were trying to test if we could make a peacock fly.
Okay.
And if you chase them, they will fly away. So I'm gonna say that the second one is false.
The peacocks do in fact fake sex sounds. I completely made up the glossy lipstick.
Every single time I think I think it, and I'm like, you know what? You should just say it. The bald eagle one is stupid. The lip gloss is stupid.
Oh my god.
And then it actually is stupid because it's not true.
It is not true. All right, last one to redeem yourself and not go 0-5 for the second time in your life. Here we go. A dad in China hired gamers to kill his son in video games so the son would start looking for a job and get a life. Fact number 2. 84% of vegans and vegetarians eventually go back to eating meat. In fact number 3. Monkeys and caterpillars are the only beings besides human capable of murdering for pleasure. Which fact is the fake fact?
So you got the dad hiring gamers to kill his son in a game.
Yes.
You got the vegans and vegetarians going back to eating meat.
Yes.
And the caterpillars and monkeys.
Yes.
I am gonna go with the dad in China.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you 100% positive?
Dude, you're freaking me out, man. I'm locking it in.
Okay, you're wrong.
What?
I completely made up the monkeys and caterpillars. Oh man,
That was
This is beautiful. I gotta circle this and write this in the Facebook archives. Right
This
there.
was disastrous.
This was beautiful to behold.
No, this is probably the saddest I've been
Ah.
since you told me about all these sad things. Oh my
Yes.
god.
And to close out, give me 5, Gary.
To close out, researchers in Oregon have successfully edited harmful genetic mutations out of human embryos.
Okay.
And
I'm still thinking about give me 5. I'm not thinking about the embryo.
no, you're good. So they through science and stuff, they have successfully taken human embryos with diseases and engineered the diseases out of them. So a lot of advocacy groups are stepping up to trying to prevent the next step, which they feel like is going to be quote unquote designer babies, where you can engineer how they're going to turn out, what they can and can't have, how tall, how short, what sex, all this kind of stuff. My question to you is, what is your stand on genetic science and messing with human genetics and embryos?
Wow.
And why?
You had to ask me the deepest question right at the end there. Okay, so it's more of amusing, but I found it interesting when humans act as God.
Yes.
And really, it's to me from what I've heard all scientists say from personal research, it appears to me that the case study we should make before we start messing with human DNA should be mosquitoes, because apparently scientists cannot figure out a food chain purpose of which mosquitoes serve, where if you eliminate their entire species, what exactly negative effect would happen other than, hey, we don't have mosquitoes transferring West Nile virus. And maybe there are a few mosquito-eating predators, but they're not solely eating mosquitoes. They're eating mass amounts of bugs. It just happens to be that in their diet includes mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So, I would say it's interesting because if you can create a disease-free person,
That's amazing. Like, if you could get rid of Down syndrome and
I think it would have to be something along those lines of, because...
But then it's a slippery slope.
Yes, because if you create a person who has no... What's the word? Is not susceptible to current diseases that we are aware of now, you'll leave them prone to the diseases that we don't know that we built a tolerance for already in our evolutionary gene that just happens to be. So I'm okay with it in the sense of let's advance medical history and not put our heads in the sand.
Yeah.
I would just like to see it to where, again, let's kill the mosquitoes. In my personal opinion, I
did not know you had this vendetta and this desire for genocide against all of mosquito kind.
Yes, they're my Chris Pratt.
They're gonna come in their Blunts gaze and kill all the mosquitoes.
Well, that would be a very interesting. Yes, I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger could even name that.
You have to kill the mosquitoes now. They itch me.
Get down, mosquito!
Give me the off bug spray.
Oh my gosh. Forever and always. For one of these days, I'm going to see if we can book Arnold Schwarzenegger to come on and...
I'm sure you would love to. I mean, he's in California. He's not too far.
I don't care what movie it is. I don't care if it's, the not even one of his better films, if we're just reviewing Terminator and he just decides to come back on. I would love to have Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll phone some people.
Make some calls, pull some strings.
I'll pull some contacts.
He'll be sitting in here next week, no doubt.
I'm going to pull...
No doubt.
I don't know if he'll be sitting here. Let's not get a little hasty over ourselves, but I will pull my weight around. But what I can guarantee will happen next week, we will be watching the movie Detroit.
Detroit, yes. Looks really good, really harrowing. It's got John Boyega of recent Star Wars fame in the lead role.
Circle. Don't forget The Circle.
And that was a bad movie that I saw this year. Was The Circle?
Movie. Yes, it was pointless.
Yeah. Yes. It's about the riots that happened in the 70s or 80s, I believe, in the city of
Probably wasn't
Detroit.
The 80s.
Why not? Why not the
Just
80s?
because
I'm gonna have to do.
You don't have any knowledge about the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't say 80s just as a buzzword.
Yes.
It's about riots that happened 34 years ago.
In Detroit?
In Detroit, as you would guess.
Okay.
And I don't really know much else about it, but
which is nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna go in there with an open mind, and hopefully I'll like it, and hopefully we'll have a good conversation about it.
Yes, hopefully we're both pleasantly surprised. I'm a little wary that it'll be because the camera action seems very on person, very
almost mockumentary style.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully it's good, and we will come back with that next week.
Yes, sir.
And we are working on it. We're working on it. It's just taking a lot of editing, but it is coming, everybody. The punishment video.
Punishment video for the ages.
It will be worth it. The payout is worth it. So stay tuned for that. As always, stay tuned for YouTube for all of our archived episodes. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm at Philip Amaran on there. And of course, follow us on SoundCloud for all of the new and current episodes of Chopped Greens that come out every week. For
Gary Boucher,
I'm Philip Amaran. Thank you so much for listening to Chopped Greens. And
bye.